So today we're gonna be talking about my 5 hacks to master Chinese. What is the hack actually? Hack is something that helps you hack in terms of learning is something that helps you master a language faster than other people. There are hacks in learning pretty much any kind of skill. There are a lot of books written on how to learn, basically how to master any skill. There is a lot of research done on this on different topics. In short, I will just say that the best thing to cut your learning curve when it comes to any kind of master any kind of skill is not to learn by yourself. It's the most important thing. Hacks when it comes to learning Chinese, the most important hacks are the steps, the 5 steps. I will share them with you. I took some notes before this live call to share my 5 things that actually helped me to master not only Chinese but also other languages as well, um, faster than other people. The short story about me. So I grew up in a small Russian town, Vladivostok, and I learned English. When I was 16 years old, I decided to. We had I was in public school, and there were like 2 groups. The group which had a kind of easier teacher, and the group which had a stricter teacher, same level. And I did something that nobody thought would be kind of normal to do. I basically left my easy group where I was getting highest grades and where it was so easy to study, and I went to the hardest group. And that hardest group, again, levels were the same. It was just all about the teacher. The easy group, the teacher really didn't explain many things, didn't challenge us, didn't do any listening exercises, didn't really do any kind of exercise. She was just like speaking, ranting for the whole time, and we were just like doing easy stuff. And the hard group it had this teacher. Her daughter was in America, living in America, and she herself actually had like native like pronunciation English, and she constantly was like she was giving students tests, testing listening skills, and doing these listening exercises all the time. And and I heard about that group when people were complaining. They were like, "Oh, we constantly have those tests, and she's so strict, and her daughter lives in America." And as soon as I heard it, I was like, wow, okay, so they're doing so much. And at that time, I was only 16 years old. Nobody told me what to do, right? Like nobody told me to switch to that hard group. And what I did was that I actually just switched the group. I went to that hard group, and everybody thought I was crazy. The teacher that from the easy group, she pretty much hated me for that. Everybody was like, "What the hell is Victor doing?" And so basically, I went to that group, and it changed my life because this one first step is like a domino effect. The second step that I did, I asked my friend who was good in English, what was he doing, right? Like I was like, what are you doing for learning English? He was like, well, I have this private tutor. So I asked about the details of his private tutor, and it turned out it was not very expensive, and I even persuaded my parents to pay for my private tutor. And I started having classes on weekends, like just 2 classes a week on weekends. And I started having it every week for a few years. And when I was graduating from high school, I already had pretty decent understanding of English grammar, very good fundamentals. The next step that I did was actually pretty interesting. I entered the university. I got a scholarship in Russia, and entered the university for free. And some of the teachers said, "What about just you have this crazy?" Like he was talking to us, to students. He said, "What if you guys just try this crazy thing? You just take an economics textbook and you try translating it, like just reading economics textbook in English." At that time, we didn't even start learning studying economics at the university. It was the first semester, like the first couple of weeks or couple of months. And that thing was like, I heard it, and it's just like it was something like, I don't know, like something struck me, and I was like, it's crazy, it's so challenging, it's so interesting. So what I did was that I went online, and I was just started searching for some famous universities, for the resources that they were using for teaching economics. And I remember I hopped on Oxford University's website, and I just looked up some of the textbook that they were using for teaching economics. I found the free PDF of a textbook, which is called Fundamentals of Economics by William Boyce and Michael Melvin. And within the next year, what I did was that I started translating this whole textbook. It was the very first book in English in a foreign language that I was reading. And I started just reading the book in English, the textbook in English, economics textbook. I had no idea about economics. I had no idea about reading in English in a foreign language. And I was translating it and writing down every single word that I couldn't understand or didn't know. And I collected 2,500 words from the textbook. And after a year, I was really decent in English because I was also practicing. I was practicing as much as I could, was immersing myself, and I pretty much mastered economic English, English basically English related to economic field, related to the science of economics. And I started publishing scientific papers after that, literally. So if you Google Victor Sazonov Gold Investment, you can see my scientific papers. In Scopus database, I was the very first student from the whole School of Economics of my university, probably one of the first ones from the whole university to start publishing papers, scientific papers in English as a Russian in Scopus database. Professors from my School of Economics started chasing me because they wanted to publish it with me because nobody could speak English, nobody could write in English. Of course, my papers were revised a lot. Of course, I still had some mistakes. Nothing is perfect. I even published my book, my small book back then, which is called Time Switching, on how to do time management in English. So I'm telling you the story because I've never been to any English-speaking country. I'm speaking English right now, right? And most Russians never learn English in their whole life. Like 95 or 97 or 99% of Russians. This is why so many Russians they comment on my Russian accent, which I do have, because most of them really don't really learn anything except for learning English at the best, and most of them don't even learn English. I'm talking about my country situation. That's why Russian just constantly like comment, "Oh, you have Russian accent, you have Russian accent." Well, because they themselves couldn't learn English even with Russian accent, or the only thing that they learned was English that they can be proud of, and they have even better accent, they think, probably because they live in the US or somewhere else. So this is my first foreign language. Next thing I did was that I started doing scientific research. I was getting a bunch of scholarships, grants, scholarships from government, even from banks, and I got a scholarship from Chinese university. I went to China, studied there for 3 years. Instead of learning Chinese, I learned Korean on top of that. The secret behind that was that I had a part-time job in China, and every penny that I earned from that part-time job, I invested in learning Korean. I invested a lot of money. I came to Korea for summer program. I went through a lot of online and offline courses, and even when my semesters of Chinese finished, I paid for another semester from my own pocket. I didn't have money because I was overspent on Korean courses, to go through another semester of learning Chinese. Up till this day, I'm learning, and I will just say learning never ends. But to learn Korean, Chinese, and Japanese in total, I went through about 10 or more than 10 full online or offline courses. Full, I mean like 3 to 4 months. So minimum 3 to 4 months. I went through 10 courses. And so when people tell me that they can learn Chinese, for example, extremely complex language, or any other language by themselves, I feel like they are just wasting time, because I did the same during the first year of learning Chinese. I think I didn't even have any guidance, and it was like half wasted. But I still have even some university classes in Chinese, some Chinese university classes. So I think I did have a little bit of a guidance, but it wasn't enough. And I'll just say everybody who thinks that they can learn a language by themselves, I would just say good luck. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. I don't believe in that. I don't believe you can master any type of skill on a good level within the shortest period of time possible learning by yourself. All right, so I'm starting blocking weird people here and reading some of the comments. Hi, Victor. Thank you for your content. I'm German and lived in Greece. Yes, so hope you master uh, Greek as well. Why did you leave Russia? Many people wish to learn, yet were never given the opportunity. So I left Russia just because of some of the reasons why people leave their own country. Many people leave the US even. many people leave their own country because of different reasons, right? So I left my own country because I was really. I'll just respond in very short, like very kind of short way. First time I went to Japan, I decided that, oh my god, like I could never live in Russia after I went to, like, I saw Yokohama. It was the very first place in Japan I saw. I remember, and it was crazy. I was like, I'm here temporarily. Like, I will leave Russia, living abroad and just abroad in general, and Asia specifically is much more interesting, much better in every single aspect. So basically, so to proceed talking about the hacks for learning Chinese, I shared my story, right? And I said that pretty much what I was doing, I'm practicing what I'm preaching. Everything single advice that I give you, every single app that I recommend. By the way, we'll work on our own app, not for teaching you the language, but for organizing. It will be like a coach, which will help you to track your progress, track your time. Um, Everything that I'm saying here is the things that I was using myself, right? So, my story of how I learn languages up till this day, I recently took Japanese courses. I'm relearning, recalling some of the advanced texts from here. Also, not by myself, with the best teachers from my team as well. Always keep learning, keep progressing. Sometimes you have pauses, but you need to keep learning, keep progressing, right? So, I never learn by myself. Every single time when I say that I learn by myself, I'm kind of failing, I would say, even schedule wise. So even like in terms of finding time for learning, you always need to learn with other people. You always need to be guided by other people. So my whole story I showed you, it was all investing in myself for the last 13 years when learning those languages. And although I speak 5 languages, I would say it's really important that you master, even if it's just one foreign language, you master it on the highest level possible, right? You don't have to like speak 10 languages or 5 languages or 7 languages or 20 languages. Some people claim that they speak many languages, but they don't really have any kind of level in those languages. So that's why I don't really admire most of those people. I mostly, by the way, admire people who speak just one foreign language. I am subscribed to some people. I watch some people's videos who speak just one foreign language, and they're completely native with it. And I like watching it. I love watching it. So it's learning just one foreign language is a great achievement. Sometimes I can see some stupid asses commenting on my videos. I sometimes title my videos obviously to get more views, like a white guy orders in fluent Korean, and I just had some stupid weirdo commenting, "Oh, it's nothing special." Like he just like commented on some stuff. I was like, dude, and obviously he's just some Westerner, like working here in Korea as an English teacher or having his own academy or whatever. And obviously, what he thinks is that, oh, he speaks just one language. Like this is his foreign language, which I think also is a great achievement, right? I think it's also a great achievement. Even if I speak just Korean and post videos only speaking Korean, I think it would be a great achievement and something to be glad about and create a content around. But I'm like, what's wrong with those people? So oftentimes you can see more haters actually who learned a little bit, learned one foreign language, even to a decent level, than people who actually achieved like crazy results in one language or learned multiple languages. You see more hate from underperformers who did a little bit and they think that everybody's like them. Oh, it's like, oh, this guy just learned one language and he's like showing off or something. So yeah, a lot of weird people these days. I'll just say, if you learn one language, be proud of that. Be proud of that. Don't listen to those weird asses. Be proud that you learned one language. Be proud that you learned the second language. Be proud of your very first sentence that you say in the language that you're learning. Be proud about your smallest, tiniest wins, and ignore haters. Ignore those stupid asses. Ignore people around you who say, "Oh, you just said one sentence, nothing special." Well, it's special. It should be special for you, believe me, because it will keep you going. All right, so let's talk about 5 hacks. I literally have them here on my phone. By the way, before we start, before October 1st, on October 1st, we are opening a new Chinese in Chinese uh, accelerator 2.0 task group. The very first textbook, task group. Of course, we're learning with textbooks too. This is actually one of the hacks from here. We're opening the very first. This is the reorganized, improved, the best of the best. I already started posting some content on Instagram of the best way to learn Chinese is to start learning it in Chinese. Actually, we use a little bit of English occasionally, but basically, it's the best. We have the best teachers. I coach on top of that. Best teachers, best materials in the world, best track record for bringing people not only to conversational but to fluent language. And this program is even improved right now. So we will actually be working with multiple series of textbooks. We'll have two subjects at least as for now, and there will be like two different subjects of Chinese, and it will be all in Chinese for complete beginners, by the way. So the time, so click the link below this live stream. The time of those coaching sessions with the teacher and with me will be established based on two first people who enroll. So somebody says they're PST, somebody says we're EST. I'm working with like tens of people. We're working with Korean, Chinese, Spanish, different languages, and the time zone is the biggest problem for people to learn to join coaching sessions. So if you want to actually join this program, join it as quickly as possible. Click the link, hop on a call with my team, and just tell what's the best time for you, whether it's EST or PST or the time gap. So basically, the time in EST, like what's the specifics. First two people will establish the time, and others will be just adapting to the existing time. So it will be the very first test group. We just really need like two people minimum to enroll. That's it. And we're going to be starting on October 1st. After October 1st, we'll not accept anybody. Normally, we do accept. We didn't have those hard stops in terms of deadlines. I just put the person to their like level group. Now we'll have it because it will be a more organized, pretty much the best system, and it will be like a real test group that we'll be having and seeing the results. All right. So basically, I can see some of the people. I see somebody. I'm not sure. Somebody says I bent for nothing. Sometimes YouTube message retracted. Hey, Nicholas the ridiculous. It wasn't me, man. I see it's YouTube doing that automatically. So if you're triggering something, it might be automatic. It's not me. All right. So let's talk about the hacks for learning Chinese. The very first hack is use Chinese from day one. Speak Chinese from day one. If you want to know how to do that, we have a free community. We have a free speaking challenge. If you go to, I'm putting it in the chat, school.com, SKOOL.com/Victor Talking /about. I think. I'm not sure whether about is needed there, but school.com/Victor Talking /about. You can participate in a 5-day speaking challenge for any language, basically, not only Chinese. And it goes through some of the structures that I teach my clients on my programs, which is, for example, creating your FAQ bank, frequently asked questions and answers in Chinese or any other language, creating your self-introduction, hopping on certain apps to practice the language, going to certain places online and offline to practice, how to practice, what structure to use, what learning structure to use, like what frameworks to use. And also it includes some community. So you basically can practice with community as well. So go to school.com/Victor Talking /about and join that free challenge if you want to practice. So use Chinese from day one. What does it mean? Basically, what it means is that you need to, whether you have classes in Chinese or in English, it's better to have classes in Chinese. That's why we're actually upgrading all of our programs to Chinese-only classes from day one, is because you get immersed in the language. And I will just say one thing, it's not for everybody. To master languages quickly and speaking and becoming fluent within a year, it's not for everybody. It's for the minority. I'm sorry, it's for the minority. It probably even like out of 26 people here, it's probably like 3 people out of you guys. Right now I'm seeing like 26. probably like 3 people out of you guys will do it. What I'm saying now. Statistically, it's not me saying you like being pessimistic. It's just like, listen, when I was taking Korean classes in Chinese in China, right? I was the only foreigner in the group. Chinese people were learning Korean. I was learning Korean in Chinese. So it was my first experience of learning Korean. And it was a 3-month course. And on the last day, there were 3 people, 2 Chinese girls and me, 3 people in the classroom left. Out of 30 people, there were 3 people. What's the percentage? 10%. And what do you think is the percentage of those 3 people who became fluent in Korean? As far as I know the teacher. I'm actually working with that teacher who are teaching me Korean. She's teaching my clients now. So basically, out of those 3 people, only 1 person became fluent in Korean. Guess who was it? It was me. It was me. So out of 30 people on that Korean course in 2017, out of 3 people who went through that 3-month course, statistically, only 1 person became fluent, as far as I know. It was me. What is the percentage? What's the percentage? It's like 3% of people. So out of 30 people here, at best, there will be probably 1% who will become fluent in Chinese. There will be probably just 1%. So 1 person or 2 people. So that's pessimistic. But you need to be that 1 person, right? Just by knowing that, by the way, some of you, just by knowing that you can push odds to the positive direction. Just by me saying that, probably there will be like, oh, just like 3 people will be just waking the fuck up and just learning with the right methods. Stop using Duolingo and some stupid apps and actually manning the fuck up and actually start learning with the real textbooks like this. Not some stupid courses, real textbooks like this. Nothing can beat these kind of textbooks, guys. Everybody who's saying that something can beat these textbooks, these are bullshitters, haven't learned anything in their lives, have no idea about Chinese. 听明白了吗？啥都不知道。So basically, the textbooks is the best way. So, okay, Johnny asked me, do you read the chat? Dude, do you think I'm reading in chat while having this live stream and talking? I'm not reading the chat. Don't ask stupid questions. I'm reading only people who actually say some relevant stuff. So what was the first language you learned after Russian? I am Russian, so it's my native tongue. English was the first. Oh, you mean, yeah, it was a correct question, right? So after Russian, I learned English. After English, I learned Chinese. After Chinese, I learned Korean. After Korean, I learned Japanese, and I'm still learning. My Japanese is good enough, so when I go to Japan, I never use English. In 97% of cases. Sometimes I give up. Like some situation happens sometimes, but it's really rare. So, all right. So I'm going to be going, guys, I'm not going to be reading the chat again. I'm going to be going through some of the things here from my phone, actual practical stuff. So use Chinese from day 1, right? So what does it mean? Let's talk about practical stuff. Find Chinese classes in Chinese. Like I said, we're opening them from October 1st. Before October 1st, we have application. Go to China, learn Chinese in China in Chinese. Speak, create your self-introduction in Chinese. Talk to Chinese people in Chinese from day 1. From the first week, ask ChatGPT, how can I create my self-introduction in Chinese only? What are the 10 most frequently asked questions that Chinese people can ask me? What answers should I give them, right? Create your list of 10 questions. Start, because you need to establish this winner effect. I'm reading the book which is called Winner Effect, and it's all about how you can basically establish that winner mindset from day 1. Prove it to your subconscious brain. They can learn, you can speak the language right after you just learned a couple of phrases, right? So this is number 1. Number 2, use right materials. I already talked about it. Everybody who says that there is something better in terms of materials, something better than the textbook, they can basically, they can just basically fuck out, because they know nothing about learning languages. Generally, nothing about learning languages. Everybody who says, oh, it's not textbooks. Yes, textbooks, basically at the beginning, you need to finish just like 4 to 6 textbooks to be ready to become fluent, You need to finish like 4 to 6 textbooks, be it Italian, French, Chinese, Korean, doesn't matter. I've worked with 10+ languages. I'm a professional language coach. I personally helped tens of people to become speaking languages. People from 50 countries went through my paid programs, online or offline. 50 plus countries. And listen, textbooks is the most important thing at the beginning, right? So sometimes I watched an interview of Matt versus Japan, the guy who became native fluent in Japanese in a pretty long period of time. But he said, well, at the beginning you start with textbooks. For Japanese, Genki 1, Genki 2, Quartet 1, Quartet 2, like some textbooks behind me here, right? So of course you need to immerse yourself, talk to people. Of course you learn when talking, when interacting, but you cannot learn the language when interacting with people if you don't finish these 2 or 3 textbooks. You can't do that. Cannot do that. No freaking YouTube video, no stupid language app, no Duolingo will teach you the basics of the language. Do you know how much material is here in these textbooks? It's crazy. Like, look at it. Look at it. It's crazy. This is how you learn, right? This is how you learn. It's like crazy text here. No app, no app can teach you those things here. No app. What I'm doing now is I read the text, I recall it. I read the text, I recall it. I read the text, I tell my coach what I think about it, right? So don't think that there is anything better than the textbook. Good series of textbooks. It should be serious, not like learn Chinese in 100 days. It should be like volumes, like volume 1, volume 2, volume 3, updated textbooks. People think that textbooks is old. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? There are like teams of people, like Beijing University, teams of people develop those type teams of people. There are like like 5, probably like tens of people were working on this textbook. All right, you tell me that you know better, right? No, nothing. If you say the textbooks don't work, I have some clowns talking to me on Instagram saying like, no, textbooks don't work, they're old. You learn when talking to people. I'm like, what do you mean, dude? Like, you're accused like lower than the floor you're standing on, dude. Like, your IQ is low if you say those things. How can you speak to people from day one with no knowledge and learn by speaking? What will you be translating with, clown? Like, will you be like talking? Will you be translating through like Sony, like weird ass Apple Vision glasses on your head or whatever? Like with subtitles, will you be learning like that? Well, see you in the future, dude. Like, what are you talking about? So it's like people are just so dumb. Sometimes like they drive me crazy. Really, like low IQ can't relate to that. Cannot relate to that. Don't be one of them. All of you smart people, you know what I'm talking about. So for you, it makes sense. My rant doesn't really help you as much. You already know what you know. You know that they work. I know that, right? So it's just for those dumbasses who don't know that, who just like try arguing with me that textbooks is like it's the best source. It's not the best source. So right teachers and coaches. So so if you want to watch this live stream, you can go back a little bit. And the most important thing that you need to know is that if you tell me that you learn Chinese by yourself, dude, like good luck. Good luck. Okay. You'll be zero. Nobody, nowhere. Okay. Just like anything in life. If you want to learn Facebook ads, if you want to learn business, if you want to learn marketing, if you want to learn swimming on a good level, if you want to learn martial arts, if you want to learn musical instruments, you don't do it by yourself. For all people who just say, oh, it's just expensive, I can't invest in that. I see like people complaining. Dude, I saw a person complaining about free course in Korea for learning Korean. I'm like, dude, what the hell are you talking about? This is a great course they have. And I'm like I went through more than 10 courses. I never said anything bad about any language school, anything bad about any course. I only say bad things about like apps or some videos or video courses that are not effective. But even they're good, to be honest, because they just help you to get started with the language. You just don't get any kind of results that you can use. Like you don't get any level, but they're pretty good in terms of the fact that they just kind of get the foot in the door, right? So language is very complex, right? So I'm afraid, like first day of learning Chinese, I didn't open the textbook. I probably checked out some videos online and like checked out some video courses, but I understood that, oh, it's just for me to get started, right? So, but they're just like, I hear people talking bad about other courses, other teachers, or like they're like, oh, that's so like so. like about free courses even. I'm like, what are you talking about, man? Like you're so like where do you have it from? Like some people just stop themselves from learning. And the craziest thing that I see is that so many people are talented. Like our 30 people here, there'll be like 15 people very talented in learning language at least. Like I have like 30, I see like 38 people now. So many of you guys will be talented. So many of you guys will be talented. You yourself, us, you are stopping you from executing. I have a person right now in my program. He's like so talented. I'll take testimonial from you in 6 months speaking Chinese. He's so good. He's learning Chinese in Chinese. I just posted on my Instagram. First day, like some people have first class in Chinese, they're already like saying some Chinese sentences. He was like, I have another client. He says, "Oh, like I was so afraid. Did I look afraid?" I was like, "You didn't look afraid. You look focused." He was like, "What the, what the hell is this thing? Like it's all in Chinese, like Chinese characters from day one, like speaking some Chinese sentences, guessing what people say. It's like this is how it should be. It shouldn't be in English, actually, like in the perfect case scenario." I do have some English material for those of you guys who want to apply for the new group. We need only 2 people to establish time to start the group. Once October 1st hits, we'll just finish the application. There'll be those 2 or 3 people or more, at like I think up to 5 people, going through 3 month semester, learning Chinese, online Chinese as a beginner, or as complete beginner. So you can start from complete zero. So it doesn't matter. If you want to become fluent in Chinese within a year, that's the only chance you have, really, online. I don't know any other program online that would be better than this one. Guess why? From here. Everything from here. Best of the best. Best in the world. Best textbooks, best teachers, best guidance, best track record. Absolutely the best in the world. All right. Right teachers, coaches, whatever you learn, doesn't matter what you're learning. Sometimes people ask me, "Hey, Victor, I have this course or this teacher, and I'm kind of should like I have this offline course and I'm on your coaching program. Should I go to that course too?" I'm like, yes, you should. Don't choose either or. Choose both of them. Even if you don't choose them at the same time, if you feel too overwhelmed, choose all of them. Invest in yourself. I practice what I preach. I don't care. I practice what I preach. Those free riders who like, "I learned Chinese for free," just like, get the fuck out, dude. Like, doesn't matter whether you take my course or somebody else's course. Uh, just wake up, right? Wake up and just start investing in yourself. At least find teacher online. For like teachers online now, it's really cheap. $15 per hour. They're not professional. They don't know shit about teaching, but it's better to at least have somebody than just completely do it by yourself. Okay. So community. The most important thing is community, guys. It's the most important thing. This is actually what will make or break your success in learning Chinese. This is what will make or break your success in learning Chinese. Community, right? Go to free community. I have a bunch of free courses. I have 6 hours of materials of how to learn Chinese. It's 5-day speaking challenge. Go to school.com. So skol.com/Victor Talking. Go to our free community, join it, go through 5-day speaking challenge, all free. Everything in this community is free. So, like I said, guys, like for some of you, it will be big ass wake up call. Big ass wake up call. People are like, "Oh, I'm a student. I don't have money to like go to language school." I'm like, where do you think I was when I was spending $3,000 on a Korean 5-week course here at Yonsei University? Where do you think I was? I was basically borrowing money from my friends, investing every penny from my part-time job. Listen, I didn't take any money from my parents since I was like 19 years old. I started earning scholarships. So I have 2 master's degrees from 2 countries, and I was earning scholarships for 7 years. 7 years when I was in universities. 7 years. You'll be like, how much? Like, basically, it's like I was earning like up to $500 a month. In Russia at that time, it was a really big deal. I was earning like 500 to sometimes even 1,000 a month. In Russia at that time, it was even right now, if you earn that many scholarships, it's pretty good. It's pretty decent. So and I was pretty much sustaining myself, and I went to China, and it was a complete just like new start for me. I was getting scholarship in China and doing part-time job on top of that. So for those of you who say that there are students they cannot learn, they cannot go to any language schools. I'm not even talking like this call is about mindset. I'm talking about my program. Listen, find offline courses near you. Go there and just study. Go enroll into offline courses. It's $200 freaking dollars. What are you doing? Like if you're on this call, you're not enrolled into any kind of course, 3 month, 4 month course, online, offline, not some bullshit app. What are you doing? Like, do you think you'll learn Chinese? No, you won't. No, you won't. Like I said, our 37 people here, 2 people at best will become fluent. 2 people. This is actually what it means, right? Or let me see, like some like if unless you're born in China and you live there for 10 years even as a foreigner and went to like public school there, right? I'm not talking about those. I didn't have those advantages. Didn't have those advantages. Like I said, I didn't take money from my parents since I was 19 years old, right? So what I'm saying, I practice what I preach. I didn't grow up in a rich family. My family didn't pay for my education abroad. Like I'm in Korea now. What I did, won a scholarship in China instead of learning only Chinese and be proud of that. In China, I learned 2.5 languages, Chinese and Korean, and some basics of Japanese, right? Came to Korea, started taking job interviews. People are like, hey, like you take job interview in Korean, like how long have you been living here? I'm like, I never lived here. They're like, what do you mean? I was like, I lived in China. They're like, what the hell is that guy? Is he a spy or some shit? They're like, dude, I learned Korean in China when being in China, because when I was in China, I would travel to Korea like about like 8 times in total. I would invest in courses online and offline, both of them. So I first course in Korean, I took it in China. Second course in Korean, second course in Korean, I took it in Korean. Third course I took online, and fourth course I took online. And I also bought online programs for preparation for topic 5, 6 level exam. So it's like I went through like 5 or 6 courses for learning Korean, at least. Chinese, 3 full semesters of learning Chinese in China, plus online programs, plus offline programs in Russia too, at the university. Some of them were free. All right. So you need to find resources and brain power to realize that you will not learn any language, especially Chinese, by yourself, dude. Never. If you don't want to waste like 10 years on that, go to offline courses, right? For somebody who can't apply to my program, click the link, book a call with my team, hop on the call. 2 people. We need 2 people. We start on October 1st. We will not accept anybody. If you say Chinese Accelerator 2.0, Chinese in Chinese, on October 2, you'll not be accepted. We might have some other programs, but not that specific one. That specific, what's the special about it? Why is it 2.0? It's because we have 2 subjects instead of 1. We'll be working with 2 textbooks instead of 1 textbook. And we'll be finishing more textbooks in the shorter period of time. And we also will be working with the best teachers on the planet from Beijing University with these textbooks. Best teachers. That same level teachers taught me. And I also coach on top of that. I coach Chinese on top of that too. And we also have general coaching calls where I coach how to learn any language. We've been working with Polish, Spanish, Chinese, Korean, Japanese, Russian, English, German, 8, and some other languages that I don't, Vietnamese, and some other languages that I don't remember now. I think Polish, I said it. I don't remember, but some couple other languages. It was more than 10. So basically, this is how it goes. So let's go through the content. The next one, community, right? I said about community. So what is special about community? The most important thing about so George said, okay, good. Do you know Matt versus Japan? He learned Japanese without textbook by watching anime, and his level was really great. Okay, George, really good comment. I like that. That's why I really like community, right? So, first of all, George, how long did it take Matt versus Japan to learn Japanese? To become fluent? And how long it took me to become fluent in Chinese? Do you know how long it took me to become fluent in Chinese? 1.5 years. First year was wasted. I became fluent in Chinese after 4 months in China. I passed HSK 5 after 8 months in China. Not saying anything. Any method works. Any method, and it's not only Chinese for me, it's also Korean. Any method works until you check out the time frame. First thing. Second thing, that same Matt versus Japan, I saw his interview. He said textbooks are really good at the beginning to use, but then you need to like immerse yourself. This is what he said. He himself recommended textbooks. That's a good point, but time frame is like, how did I learn Japanese fluently native level in 8 years? I'm like, okay, dude, like I want to, like, yeah, of course you cannot learn probably to like native like pronunciation in like 1 year, right? Like 1 year and a half. I still had an accent, still have an accent. It doesn't matter. But the thing is that I was I was conversating, I was dating in Chinese 24/7 already, right? Like after 3 months in China, after 2 months in China, 24/7. And it's like, it's what I'm saying here. It worked not only for me, but my clients learn faster than me because I see how fast they finish textbooks. It's much faster than me because I already, like I said, the goals right. So good point. What is the fluency you're talking about? The fluency I'm talking about is that you can spend 24/7 speaking the language completely fluently without switching to English. This is like the basic level of daily fluency that you can do, right? It's not a moot point. There are different levels you can measure. So, for example, in terms of exams, right? So, JLPT, um, J- exams actually is a really good measurement of fluency too. Although people say, "Oh, well, there are no like speaking tests," I'm like, yes. Although fluency would be actually very strongly correlated with the level of exam that you pass, right? So if you pass JLPT level 5, or sorry, not level 5, level 2, right? The highest level is level 2. It's the opposite to other exams that I know. In if it's in 2 years or 3 years or 5 years, if you can do presentation like in front of like 5 people about your life and talk about some random topics, well, it's fluent, you know. So people, okay, so the biggest argument that people say, well, fluent this, fluent that, well, there is no clear definition of being fluent, and what do you mean by being fluent? Okay, George, but your point doesn't change anything, even if you say that the definition of fluent is not defined, although I think it's a pretty clear one, because he definitely didn't become fluent in 1 year, right? Even if you say that fluency is not defined, with anime, watched animes for 1 year, became fluent in Japanese, passed JLPT level 5, oh, sorry, level 2 out of like level 2. It's not possible as far as I remember. Prove me wrong. I might be wrong about it, and I might study that, but I doubt that, right? So, but if you finish 4 textbooks in a year, you are very likely to pass JLPT level 2. Why is it so? It's because Genki 1, Genki 2, and Quartet 1, Quartet 2, it gives you so much vocabulary so that um, then I think you can easily learn it with YouTube with sentence mining approach, and it takes the same. Okay, so I completely disagree with that. Okay, so this is another thing. Try what you say, like try what you say, right? So try your self-learning method with people, like following people who learn language for 10 years, right? Or for became fluent in like 5 years. Try this method, post a video of yourself. Be like, hey guys, I'm fluent in this language, and I used whatever is I've never heard of like sentence mining approach to learning languages, and this is my references. Like I use this reference to achieve this result. You know, I did scientific research for years when I was at the university. I published 20 more than 20 scientific papers on the subject of investments, behavioral economics. And in science, when we write a scientific paper, every single sentence, every single statement that you make should be referenced by some kind of fact, right? So, for example, every single statement that I have here, I have Sebastian, who went through my Korean coaching program. In 4 months, he became advanced. I have his time tracking spreadsheet, and I know how much time he spent on my program and precisely how many hours he was learning for. Precision, right? Precision. So Everybody who says, "Oh, it's not defined. Oh, it's not this. It's not that. Oh, diet. Like you eat this, you eat that. You don't calculate calories." Or, for example, you don't calculate how many pull-ups you should do to be able to do like muscle up, right? Or you don't calculate how many textbooks you should. So speaking numbers, I know my numbers. How many sentences should you mind to become fluent, knowledge wise? I know how many textbooks I should finish to become fluent in any language. On average, it takes 4 to 6 textbooks and 1 to 2 hours a day of study. Pretty precise in my opinion. I have tens of spreadsheets, Excel spreadsheets, where my clients track their time, precision, and result, right? So you can also show your result, be like, hey, this is my result, this is how I speak. You don't have to show your face. You can like just record an audio and be like, this is how I speak to Japanese people. And they compliment me, or it's like you can show the voice chat, right? There are people also posting their voice chat conversations, and they use this sentence mining method. And who knows, maybe it will become the next big thing, the best thing. um So yeah, so I think, have you heard of a guy, Will Hart? Have you heard about him? His interview is impressive. Yes, probably yes. Again, it's just I don't know what methods they were using there. Um, so I will just say I saw the biggest, like the fastest paths of success. Again, George, you can argue with me. You can use any reference experience. But I will just say the clear story, like, do you know this guy, do you know this guy? Like, for example, this guy used this kind of method, and this is what he said he did, this is how many hours he spent, and this is the result that he gotten from it, right? So this is the best thing, and this is the environment that he was living in. This is the girlfriend or friend, the girlfriend he was dating, or the friend he was talking to every single day in Chinese. This is the environment they had, and this is the materials they went through. This is the materials they used, right? So, or this is things that translated. So I'm talking about the method that worked for me, worked for my clients. I have a track record of helping people to learn uh, multiple languages in in the shorter period of time that it should normally be, I would say, right? So nothing is a magic pill. So yeah, mostly, like I said, it's just like the examples are really good, but these are people who master on a fluent level only one language. It's also very precise, like, and also the system should be replicatable, right? So replicatable means that, for example, let's say I was translating movies to become fluent in some, like in Italian, right? Can I replicate the system and teach it to other people? Not necessarily, like not always, right? So some systems, some people get some results, but the results is not easily replicatable. There is no like a clear guidance. I'm not arguing, like, let's be open-minded here, right? um in, like, I heard that there is a Japanese story, like proverb, that there are different routes leading to the mountain, but the view from the mountain is the same, right? Different routes leading to it. There are different methods, different ways of achieving success sometimes, but the success, once you get there, the view is the same, right? So yes, there could be different ways, there could be different methods. I am not aware of them precisely. Like, I'm not aware of, like, people talk about Anki cards or some build, like, sentence mining. First time hearing that. Some other things, like some massive, not massive exposure, comprehensive input, all those things. Listen, like, I talking about my personal experience with textbooks, with learning with structured methods, smart learning. Some of the things, by the way, that I recommend to do, they're not even in textbooks. So I have a lot of guidelines that I'm using, which are outside of textbooks and class and teachers. I have a lot of things, but the thing is that normally I'll just say I would use the things which are measured, proven in terms of results, in terms of the path, like very precise. How much, like, at least precision in terms of the like, for example, 1 to 2 hours, or 3 to 6 textbooks, or 500 to 700 pages, or if you're talking about sentences, like 1 to 2,000 sentences in this time frame, right? So I'm talking about precision here. Although I would just say, also, people are very individual when it comes to learning. So good points, and I like to argue. So I like to argue with smart people, and if somebody has other points they can bring up, um so Okay, so Johnny said without textbooks. Can you pause the video where he said that textbooks don't help and that he doesn't recommend to use textbooks? So said Johnny. So Johnny, I'm sharing how I learned the language. So I would say what you're saying here is completely not true. I learned this process myself for learning any language. I told you that you can go to offline, you can find any offline course. And if I have my own coaching program that I recommend, that I will not even probably accept you to, even if you apply, I mean, it doesn't mean it's like he just wants to make my dude. You're just ridiculously wrong. It's you're in the wrong headspace, and you're just clearly lying here. To be honest. So I would in why I'm also not sure, not even sure why you're on this live stream. To be honest, if you don't believe what I'm saying, why would you spend? It's already like 50 minutes of this live stream. Why are you even on this live stream? Try to go to the resources that you believe in. You can disagree with me. Do what works for you better. You don't have to argue with me. I'm here. I'm speaking for people who are interested in learning without wasting time, who believe in my methods, who saw my testimonials, who saw what I'm doing. And I want, it's like you can't be liked by everybody, but you be liked by the small number of people who believe in you, right? So the same with me. Or if you're not in this community, why would you be here just saying some lies about stuff, right? Um, so question, Victor, do you recommend learning Chinese and Korean at the same time, or one after the other? So yes, I made this mistake till this year. Even I made this mistake so many times. Learning two languages at the same time is very bad. It's a waste of time. However, I also, this rule has I would say exception, right? So if you feel like you're a genius exception from this rule, you can do it. I have a client right now. He's learning Italian and German at the same time with Chinese, and he's doing great in learning Chinese too. So I think he's the first exception I saw in my life. So if you're like this guy doing great in everything that you're learning, you can. But I would just say I don't recommend it. Also, guys, one thing, the difference between when somebody says, well, I did it using this method versus I helped other people is also very big, because people are like, hey, I use this method, like I use thinking like this, like anime to, but did they teach other people how to do that? Do they have testimonials of other people saying that they helped them to become fluent? My very first client for learning Chinese, he became fluent in Chinese within a year, by the way. Fluent, native like fluent. He never been to China till this day. You can Google him. David Hargat. You can go to my testimonials. You can find him on Instagram. Ask him. So it's like, do they have this track record then when they brought people from beginner to fluent within a year? Show me. I don't believe that. My system works for everybody, no matter whether a person has the talent, or they think they don't have a talent, or they think they should develop talent and stuff like this. The only problem that I see people having is not talent or not talent, is mindset. Sometimes if people like they're very talented, finishing one textbook a month, great pronunciation, and then really happy, but then they stop learning the language because they just break up with some girlfriend. It's crazy. So it's like it's a mindset issue. Sometimes I see, like, if you talk about proportions of what is really important in language learning, in fast language learning, I would say more than some kind of a talent or predisposition, which I think I don't fully believe in, because there are different learning types, like listeners, readers, and writers, and people just learn differently, and different learning styles, right? But if you find your predisposition and you start using it, you become talented. So basically, there is no such thing as I don't have talent. It's just your mindset issue, right? Another thing, you cannot have quote unquote talent in something you didn't do for a long time. So you develop your own talent, you create your own talent over time when investing hundreds of hours. Textbook phase is super important, but has been massively dismissed by these modern immersion only learners. Big mistake. Yes, exactly. Guys, have you seen anybody? Do I sell those textbooks? No, I will create my like links where I will have some commissions on those. I have no, I'm not selling you the textbooks, right? You can leave this call. Like I said, like 99% of people even watching those videos, they will never join my coaching programs. It's all good. But 99, but what I would like above from that, what I want you to do is that I want you to go out and use the things that I teach you here for free and apply them. Find the teacher, use the textbook, right? Some weird clown said that I'm doing this only for money. Dude, have you seen my testimonials of my clients speaking fluent Korean and Chinese? You have no idea what you're talking about. Use my methods for free. Who can just go out from this live stream, take 2 to 3 textbooks, like this much textbooks, finish at least 2 of them. Let's say you finish that many of them. Let me take the third one for an example of Chinese textbook only. Finish 3 of them. Go to Hello Talk voice chats. Find cheap online teacher to go through these textbooks here. Learn using my method for free. Go out and use it. At the same time, you can also, for the next 3 months, for another 3 months, you can use the immersion method and see what works for you better, right? So for that clown who said that I'm doing it only for money on this free live stream, dude, you can go fuck yourself, because you're ridiculously loser, because you probably haven't learned any language in your life before, and you're just saying stupid lies about shit, right? So no offense, but you're just a loser. No winner will talk like this, right? No winner will be like, but this guy, you're only for money. Dude, if somebody has something, if somebody has a program, if somebody has a product that they believe in, does it always mean that they're doing it for only money? What are you talking about? Do you know the first rule of sales? Let me educate you. Let me educate you. Do you know the first rule of sales? You go to any sales training, improve your IQ. What's the first rule? Believe in your product. If you sell something, you need to believe in it. You need to have sleepless nights thinking, dude, this product is the best in the world. This is the first rule of sales. I have salespeople working for me. I know how they sell. And the best rule of sales is sell the great product you believe in. Great product you believe in. I'm not even fucking selling you these books. So you can just go fuck yourself and learn with the methods that you think that people don't sell you anything and learn for free. Go on Reddit and cry about paid programs, dude. Go fuck yourself. So being very harsh, I'm from Russia. I'm just saying what I'm thinking. Right? So ridiculously stupid people, I don't understand where it's coming from. Go buy textbook. I'm not selling you my program. Buy textbooks. Go buy textbooks. These are for, like, I'm not getting anything from promoting those, okay? It's Beijing University Press which earns from it. Please thank me, Beijing University Press, for promoting you. The only YouTuber, the only language YouTuber on the planet. Please tell me about others. There are others in Japanese. Let's say about Chinese. Who promotes Beijing University Press? Please thank me for promoting Beijing University Press. The best method. And by the way, the best teachers from there as well. We work with these teachers. We use this textbook. I'm the original source you can go to. I'm the original source of this. I have tens of people already helped speaking Chinese. Some of them already became fluent. Some of them became fluent after my program, after some time passed. It's not a magic pill. I had a student from France. His name is Corey. You can go to my Instagram. You can even find him in, like, some of those people in my friends. So we became friends. I became friends with so many clients, dude. So I have a client from New York. His name is David. He became close to fluent after my program. It took him a little bit longer, about a year. He went to China. He joined the advanced group, the most advanced group there was. And he was like, Victor. I was like, dude, let's do it. So we started developing an app. We partnered on developing an app, which is called 68 Lingo. It's how you track your progress. So my clients graduate from my program, become close to fluent in Chinese, and work on an app with me. This is how big it is, dude. So for those skeptics who say it's all because of money, you can go fuck yourself, dude. You can go fuck yourself. People who believe in that, they will be getting fluent. For those of you guys, so we have 25 people now. It dropped from 40. It's filtering out right now. So for those of you guys who are real, go out, buy the textbooks, learn for free. Don't join the program, but please finish 3 textbooks and tell me what you think. Do you know what I want to say you? I have one guy purchase my $47 course. It's called Accelerator. He applied all my methods. 반가워요. He applied all my methods. He finished 600 pages of textbooks in Spanish. His name is Chris. He's also working on his language app, and we're also partnering together. He is pretty advanced in Spanish. I have testimonial of him speaking Spanish. If you go to victortalkingacademy.com/Spanish, I think it's victortalkingacademy.com/Spanish. So this is the level of preciseness I'm talking about. I don't speak Spanish. I don't speak Spanish. Is it Victor Talking? Yes, it's victortalkingacademy.com/Spanish. I'll put this link in the chat. I don't speak Spanish, dude. People on my program learn Spanish. Mexican Spanish, by the way, Latin American Spanish. And shoot me testimonials that they speak the language. Go out, apply all those things. Finish 600 pages of Chinese textbooks. Apply everything I say. Find a teacher, find a coach. Go with textbooks. Finish 600 pages of textbooks. Speak every day for 5 minutes on HelloTalk or other language exchange app. Go out offline. Watch my videos for motivation where I go to some store and say some stupid stuff. Do it. Okay? Do it. Let's go. It's not about money, dude. It's about the freaking result. You'll get the result. You'll be just like knocking on doors to join my programs because you'll see it's unstoppable. It's absolutely unstoppable. The best method for learning in the world. Again, like I said, there are so many like fancy massive what is that? A comprehensive input. Like this guy, that guy became fluent. How many people did they help to become fluent? Send the link in the chat. Send the link to their testimonials. Where's mine? victortalking.com, victortalkingacademy.com. Go to those websites. Go to school.com/victortalking. We have a lot of testimonials there as well. Where are there? So I have testimonials right now in 3 languages: Korean, Chinese, and Spanish. Okay, posting testimonials every few months. It's really slow to get them. I have a lot of screenshots where people thank me, but it's really slow. Some people don't like being on camera. We just post testimonials only with people who actually like speak in the language and very confident in terms of speaking. So I don't even get like old people to do testimonials. 저도 영어 유창하게 배우고 싶은데 잘 안 오디더라고요. 잘 안 오디더라고요. 안 되더라고요. 영어 잘 배우시면 제 생각에는 교과서 쓰셔야 될 것 같아요. 제가 추천해드리는 교과서 하나 있는데 그 English Grammar and Use 그 교과서가 되게 좋아요. English Grammar and Use 아니면 Basics of English Grammar 그것부터 시작하시고 그 다음에 English Grammar and Use 그 되게 좋은 교과서예요. 아마 2-3개 다 끝나면 다 되게 일단 문법부터 배우셔야 될 것 같아요. 문법 제일 중요하다고 생각해요. 저는 원래 그 고등학생 때 1대1 선생님이랑 문법 다 배우고 그 다음에 그 다음에 이제 혼자 그 교과서 그 경제학 교과서 읽고 이제 단어장 만들고 단어 2,000개 정도 다 외우고 그 다음에 이제 계속 여러 가지 책 읽고 영상 보고 유튜브 3시간씩 맨날 유튜브 보고 그 다음에 이제 영어 그것 때문에 되게 좋아졌어요. 주장한 거 한번 열심히 공부할게요. 사실 제 생각에는 그 여기 한국에서 파고다 학원이 있잖아요. 그 파고다 학원 그 강남 특히 강남에서 제가 다녔어요. 저기 되게 좋은 것 같아요. 다니는 거. 제가 저기서 일본어 배우고 왜냐면 예를 들어서 제가 일본어 배웠을 때는 일본어를 배웠어요. 네, 맞아요. 파고다 학원. 일본어를 배웠어요. 중국어로 제일 그 언어 배우는 방법들 중에서 제 생각에는 제일 좋은 방법은 그 언어를 쓰면서 언어를 배우는 거예요. 예를 들어서 중국어 배울 때는 중국어로 중국어 배우는 거예요. 선생님 중국어로만 가르쳐 주는 거예요. 똑같이 그 예를 들어서 영어 배우면은 그 원어민 선생님이랑 영어만 듣고 영어만 쓰고 영어 설명만 듣고 그런 식으로 그 영어 배우는 거 제일 좋을 것 같아요, 사실 제 생각에는. 아까 영어 말하다가 지금 한국어 말하는 거 좀 어색하긴 한데 맨날 한국어 말하는데. 근데 요즘 그 alright. So I was just telling like the best. 저 한번 응원 좀 해주세요. 정말 팬입니다. 감사합니다. 선석 TV 화이팅. Alright. 선석 TV 성성 속속선석 손석민 TV 화이팅. 중국 발음부터 정말 대박합니다. 완벽하지 않아요, 사실. 그 나라에서 만약에 제가 중국에서 5년이나 10년 동안 살았으면 더 좋아졌을 거예요. 완벽하진 않아요. 모든 발음이 완벽하지 않아요. 사실 제 러시아 발음도 완벽하진 않아요. Yeah, all right. So basically, just a little bit of conversational time. If somebody can type in Chinese, I can speak Chinese for a while. I can also try to raise Japanese here as well. So the last thing for those of you guys, okay, so for those of you guys who want to proceed. So the first thing, the last step is goals, right? So goals is the most important thing. You need to set the goal of finishing 4 to 6 textbooks. At the very beginning, it depends on the textbook series, right? So sometimes we work with Yonsei University textbooks. I would say 4 textbooks is enough to get the conversational. 8 textbooks is enough to get to fluent. So this is the first thing. And the second thing is when it comes to Chinese textbooks, I would say 3 textbooks would be enough to get conversational. Set the right goals. So you need to study 1 to 2 hours a day. Some people are like, Victor said, I need to study 1 hour a day. 1 hour is not enough. I'm like, dude, some people, what you do in 2 hours, some people do it in 15 minutes. So it's really individual. You need to do like 1 to 2 hours a day, minimum 1 hour a day for the next 6 months to achieve any kind of good result, or even 3 months. Depends on what kind of program you're in, what kind of schedule you have. So by the way, again, quick shout out. We have Chinese accelerator 2.0 program starting on October 1st. We need 2 people to establish the time to join, and basically we'll close application. It'll be up to 5 people in the group. It's a very small group. We'll have coaching calls with native teacher, with me. It's the best program, best materials if you want to become fluent in Chinese within the shortest period of time possible. If you want to become really good in listening and speaking and writing and reading, this is your chance. It's the best online program in the world. I truly believe in that. Like I said, right now it's the best one. Like Chinese Accelerator 2.0. I'm not used to saying it about my programs. I used to be like really humble. 감사합니다. 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 커피 한 잔 할게요. 감사합니다. 구독자 몇 명이시죠? Okay, so basically, yeah, so basically what I was trying to say, wait a second, I'm trying to switch. Yeah, so if you want to start speaking Chinese, you need to speak Chinese from day one. You need to listen to Chinese from day one. You need to burn the bridges, right? So I have a lot of also materials. I have tens of hours of materials explaining Chinese in English. So the very first textbook that you will be going through, every single page we have English explanations, every single page. So I recorded the whole textbooks. The first textbook, 汉语教程, textbook number 1, all in English. Every single page is explained there. I have tens of hours of content. So if you join, you'll be a part of at least 2 different classes with 2 different series of textbooks. The first textbook is comprehensive Chinese, and the second one is spoken Chinese. So basically, these are the most important things that you need to know. There will be also coaching calls with me, personal WhatsApp connection with me. So you'll be able to message me on WhatsApp anytime, ask me anytime. There will be WhatsApp group with other people from the community. You'll see how they're learning. Some of them already on textbook 2 or 3. You'll see actually people advancing, and basically this is the community, right? So you need to have people like this. So we use only Chinese for learning Chinese. This is the very first test group. I used to use English mostly when explaining, and we practiced in Chinese, but now it's only in Chinese. We just switch all the lessons to that new method. And so we're working with the absolutely best of the best in the world teachers who were even graduated or taught either at Beijing University or Hagunda University. And basically, and I also teach my hacks to learning Chinese, teach Chinese, also answer all the questions and coach you how to learn the language faster, right? So I always say it to the clients on my program. I say, listen, like you enrolled into this program and your purpose is even bigger than you think. Because let's say your friend wants to learn Italian and you're learning Chinese on my program. Your friend comes to you and says, hey, I'm using this Duolingo app, but I don't really know what to do. I don't really know how to learn the language. You'd be like, okay, so I will help you. Just Google textbooks for learning Italian online, and find the most popular, the best use of textbooks for learning Italian, and verify it through some Reddit search or for some and find teacher that can teach you this textbook, and finish those three textbooks within the next 6 months. You can help your friend to customize your his program for learning any language once you go through my Chinese coaching program or Korean culture program. Click the link in the description of this live stream if you want to change your life by mastering Chinese on the best program in the world. We're going to get more testimonials, more people, and the price always goes up, unfortunately. Price always goes up. I started teaching Chinese, I started coaching Chinese 3 years, about 3 to 4 years ago. And my price was so much cheaper than now. It was pretty much free, basically, in comparison to now. It was pretty much free. So basically, um, the price always goes up. The demand goes up. We have very small groups. It's like 5 people in the group. Click the link in the description, book a call, choose, like, answer questions carefully. Some people just choose the questions which filter them out from the application. There is a huge filter, right? This filter makes sure that out of 10 people, there will be one person at best accepted. There is a filter you need to go through in this application form. It's not for everybody. I'm very serious here. Okay, we don't have like 100 people working with, so it's not for everybody. So if you're very serious about it, if you're very serious about stepping up in life and learning Chinese and other foreign language after that, and mastering the best process for learning languages, if you don't believe me, go to victortalking.com, watch the testimonials, watch every single testimonial. If you don't believe me further, contact those people online. You can find them. Okay. Go find me on Instagram, Victor Talking ID. Go to my friends list and find those people on friends list. Contact them. Hey, I watched Victor's live stream. Like, you were on his program. How was it? Right? I remember some stupid ass like wrote some stupid shit about me on Reddit. He wasn't even the part of the program. He was like on the call with my team or with me. He said, Victor, like this and that, and like he just rejected me to enroll. And there were like 5 clients of mine jumping on Reddit and like protecting me and writing these posts about my program and saying how great it is. Right? I can just, you find on, go on Reddit like negative experience with Victor. He, and you can, and scroll down to my client's post and you can see it's all real. All right. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much, guys. I will finish here. Thanks for joining. And as always, minority stays till the end. And I'm really happy that you joined today. Thank you so much, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.